Right, part two of learning new tricks from our old books. In this section, we're going to take some bars of rhythm, and again, we're going to turn them around a little bit. In the previous section, we had some bars of rhythm, and an example, we took the quiver pattern, moved it from the hi-hat onto the ride cymbal, and then did some stepped hi-hats on the ride cymbal. There was another example where it was already written on the ride cymbal. We just added in some stepped hi-hats as an exercise. Okay, so in this one, we're going to take some quiver-based patterns. You could be using the Rock School book like me. If not, get some quiver-based patterns, and we're going to turn them around and play some quarter note or crotchet-based grooves with them. So we're just using these as rhythmic examples or a template to give us some exercises to develop those new techniques and those new rhythms. Again, we've finished off in section one. We're going to bend and snap. I'm going to start off this in bend and snap. And in section B, there's some nice grooves there, simple grooves that we can use to help us to develop some quarter note grooves. And again, we're just using these as exercises, so we're not going to be playing them up to speed. Bend and snap goes at 113 beats per minute. We don't want to do these just yet at 113. We're going to do them a lot slower. So I'm going to take the first bar of B. The first bar of B, it actually has a crash. We're going to leave that out because that's not what we're going to be doing here, okay? So if I play it without the crash, we've got our quiver rhythm, and we're going to do it nice and slow, okay? Simple pattern. Foundation level drummers, hopefully you can play that okay. Alright? So what we're going to do is we're going to change from quavers to crotchets. I started listening to rock music in the 70s, and there was lots of rock music that used quarter note grooves. Famous bands like Free and Deep Purple, and obviously Led Zeppelin. We're all big Zeppelin fans in Drumschool Belfast. And also one of my favourite songs from the 70s was All Right Now by Free. And Simon Kirke, who was the drummer, he actually played a classic quarter note groove using the cowbell. I might do that at the end. Okay, I've got a little bit of a cowbell there. But we're not going to use that just yet. All right, we'll keep it in the hi-hat for now. So the rhythm again is just that 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, but we're playing quavers as is written. Now, let's have a go at playing this bar, learning new tricks from our old books as a quarter note groove. Dead simple. Well, the idea is simple. Actually playing it might require a wee bit of work. So there are some quarter note grooves in the grade 1 book, but not in all of the pieces. Okay. In fact, Bent and Snap does have one at the bottom of the page. But what I like to do sometimes is just look at some of the other rhythms and see if there's something that can help to push us on just a little bit, move us on. This is hopefully a straightforward example. We're going to look at another one which is a wee bit more tricky later on. But let's look at this. So one last time, the way that it's written without the crash, and I'm going to do it nice and slowly, is like this. That's how it's written. Let's play some quarter notes instead of quavers. So crotchets. First 2 beats should be easy enough. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright? If that's a wee bit tricky, try the first 2 beats. They should be easy enough. Beat 1 with the bass drum. Beat 2 with the snare drum. Then you got 2 quavers on the bass drum. And then back to beat 4. Alright, let's try that. Alright, if I want to sound like Simon Kirke, playing a bit of All Right Now by Free. Okay, so simple idea. instead of playing quavers, let's play crotchets. Let's move ourselves on so that we can not only play good solid quaver based patterns, but also quarter note grooves. We tend to refer to these as quarter note grooves. If you haven't actually done this piece, I would strongly encourage you to do it, because at the bottom of the page in Bend and Snap, it goes from an eighth note pattern into a quarter note pattern. And just for now, I'll play it, but again, I'm just going to play it slowly, okay? It goes a lot faster than this when we're playing it. And there's a crash. I'm going to leave out the crash for now. But it goes like this. There's our quarter note groove. Quavers, crotchets. So if you haven't actually played this piece, have a go, all right? That second bar will put you in the right direction of working on other quarter note grooves, okay? So there's another one just there. And as I say, if you haven't had a go at that piece, that's a good one to do. Right. And sticking with Bend and Snap, we're going to go back to section B, because there's a nice little pattern there. Again, I'll play it as is written, quavers on the hi-hat, and then we're going to turn it around and put crotchets on the hi-hat. Again, just as an exercise, this is helping us get mileage out of our books, and it's helping us to move on in our skill and in our ability level. Okay, so the way that it's written, it's actually the second bar of B. Again, if you don't have this book, no problem. Have a listen to what I'm playing. Have a go. So, we're going to do it nice and slowly. And I'm just repeating it. 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and 1. Alright? So, what we're going to do is, we're going to, instead of playing quavers, we're going to play crotchets. This one, from the difficulty point of view, from the first example, is a wee bit more tricky. So take your time. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 4, and 1. 2, and 4, and 1. So you're really working on your interdependence there with that. Alright? Again, if you wanted to, hey, put that on the ride cymbal. We'll not worry about stepped hi-hats in this one, but you could play your quarter note here. 1, 2, and 4, and 1. Alright, so there's a few examples from that one piece. Taking an eighth note pattern, and instead of playing the quavers in the hat, let's turn it around and play a crotchet. So we're kind of just using some of the rhythmic ideas and seeing if we can just push them a little bit further to help us to develop better technique. So that was 2 or 3 examples from Bend and Snap from the Rock School Grade 1 book. I'm now looking at a piece called Deep Trouble, and we're going to look at section B. Now in section B, we move on to the ride cymbal, and we actually play this pattern here. Okay, again, I'm going to do it slowly. However, this one here actually only goes at about 97 beats per minute anyway. We might even just take it a wee bit slower than that. I'll just do the first couple of bars, and again, in fact, I'll do the last line, okay, because it's the same but without a crash. 2, 3, 4. I'm just repeating that. Alright, so that's where it's written. Maybe goes a little bit faster than that whenever we're actually performing it. So, we're on the ride cymbal. We're not talking about stepped hi-hats anymore in this case. Let's play a quarter note crotchet on the ride cymbal, but keep everything else the same. Might need to just do it a bar at a time, or even half a bar at a time. Lots of those little pushes on there. 1, 2, and 4, and 2, and 4, and. That's where the difficulty is going to come in whenever we're just wanting to play on the beat. So this is a really good one for stretching yourself, getting mileage out of your old book, learning new tricks. This is what we're all about at this in this lesson, okay? So now we know what the rhythm is. Let's have a go. We'll just do the first bar. First bar. Okay, I'll keep it in the ride cymbal. So here we go. 1, 2. Just repeating the first bar. Alright, and if that's tricky, do it half a bar at a time. I'm just playing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then the second half, 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? And then you can put it together. If you want to have a go at doing those 2 bars, and if you're not using the Rock School book, but you've got a sort of a syncopated little section like that in one of the books that you're using, go for it. Okay? Don't play the quavers, turn it into crotchets, work on your quarter note grooves. Really helps your interdependence between your hands and your feet, and it gets you playing like a 70s rock player as well. Let's just do that again. So, what it was, the 2 bars were written like this. What I'm going to do is turn the quaver pattern into a crotchet pattern. And repeat. So just to summarize, all we've been doing in this section of learning new tricks from our old books is taking some quaver-based patterns from the books that we have, and instead of playing them as is written, we're going to play some quarter notes, either on the hi-hat or on the ride cymbal. Crotchets, either hi-hat or ride cymbal. Really simple idea. Actually playing through them a little bit more tricky, but great fun. Once again, don't be perturbed. Just keep chipping away at it. If you need to leave it for a while and then come back to it again. But it's great fun. There's some songs and they lend themselves better to a crotchet being played on the hi-hat or ride cymbal rather than quavers. So it's good to be able to have that technique and that ability to do both a quaver-based or a crotchet-based pattern, and working through it and using your book as a kind of a template, and just using these examples is a way to help you to do that. So again, hope you enjoyed that section. Let's see you in section 3 of how to turn our books around and learn new tricks from our old books.